Registered Phenomena Code 126. Object Class Beta Yellow. Hazard Types: Grouped Hazard, Ideological Hazard, Visual Hazard, Contact Hazard. Containment Protocols. All instances of RPC-126 not marked for disposal are to be housed at site in a steel safe placed in the center of a standard containment cell, fitted with mirrors affixed to all walls, to aid in the testing of instances. RPC-126 instances are to only be removed from their safe for testing purposes, and are to be sealed back inside once all testing has been concluded. RPC-126 requires to be fed at least 2 average-sized humans, or 1 large farm animal per year for each instance. See Incident Log for details. All personnel are to avoid directly viewing instances of RPC-126 during testing and feeding times, unless through video surveillance, reflection, or through the video playback of a handheld camera. Description: RPC-126 consists of 3 instances, hereby known as RPC-126-1, RPC-126-2, and RPC-126-3. All 3 entities appear to be gold bars produced in Nazi Germany, commonly referred to as Nazi gold, and all 3 instances of RPC-126 are nearly identical to non-anomalous bars of gold of similar origin in both physical and chemical traits. RPC-126's anomalous traits manifest once an individual views an instance of RPC-126 with the naked eye, causing them to be filled with a strong desire to claim the instance for themselves. Once either a human or animal affected by RPC-126 touches an instance, the subject will refuse to release it, clutching it against their chest, in their arms, or in their mouth, depending on the subject in question. Subject will begin screaming at nearby personnel, threatening them with physical violence should they try to steal their quote-unquote treasure. All other personnel can now gaze upon the instance of RPC-126 without suffering from the same mind-warping effects as the subject holding the instance in their possession. At this time, the only effective method found in testing to remove RPC-126 from the subject's grasp has been physical force. Once the instance is separated from affected individuals, they must be isolated for a period of at least 1 week to recover from the withdrawal symptoms that will occur. During this time, subjects demand to be reunited with the RPC-126 instance, under the pretense that they will need it to survive. Listed below is a chart of the results found to be common throughout all tests with affected individuals. Stage Number: Physical Effects. Stage 1. Affected subjects hold onto their instance of RPC-126 and attempt to ward off others who may separate them. Notes: subjects are very territorial at this stage, and are often violent towards unaffected individuals. Stage 2. Subjects appear to be in the early stages of malnutrition, and the RPC-126 instance seems to have melded with their flesh, and making their skin nearly unbreakable around the instance. Subjects reach this stage after approximately 1 month. Subjects suffer from these effects despite being given a standard daily calorie intake. The hardened skin prevents standard surgical removal of RPC-126 from the subject, and requires excision of tissue with power tools. Stage 3. Subjects at this stage are suffering from extreme late stages of malnutrition. Subjects reach this stage 1 week after reaching Stage 2. At this stage, the subject's skin and flesh have become hardened across their entire body. Stage 4. Subjects at this stage have expired and slowly shrivel away, leaving only bones. Stage 4 is reached within days of reaching Stage 3. After the subject's flesh is completely shriveled away, the RPC-126 instance will have visibly expanded in size and weight, with the growth varying based on the weight of the person or animal it consumes, ranging anywhere between a few grams to a whole kilogram, with the engraving on the front changing to match RPC-126's new weight. Once an instance of RPC-126 has grown to weigh approximately 2 kilograms, it will expel a golden coin, in a similar fashion to cell reproduction through mitosis. The new instances hereby referred to as RPC-126A bear the same insignia as the bars, but with the inscription Guerre soit guerre, meaning greed begets greed. These new instances do not yet show the same anomalous properties as the original instances, but appear to have a growth cycle until reaching what can be considered a mature state, where the cognitohazardous effect finally manifests. All RPC-126A instances are to be destroyed unless deemed necessary for testing or observation purposes. Destruction of instances at any stage of growth via blast furnace has proven effective at removing the instance's anomalous effects. All 3 instances of RPC-126 were found near Lake Toplitz, Salzkammergut, Austria, in 1945, when reports of missing platoons were coming in for both American and British forces, tying the disappearances to the woods around the lake. The RPC Authority was then contacted to investigate the unusual nature of the disappearances, and deployed a group of agents to the area. They found skeletons lying near the edge of the lake and the surrounding area, with the 3 fully developed RPC-126 instances, as well as gold coins, scattered around. The clothing left on the skeletons ranged from uniforms of the German Wehrmacht, U.S. Army, and British Special Forces. Once located, agents and fell victim to RPC-126's effects, grabbing the objects and demanding their fellow agents stay away from their treasure. The agents contained the 3 instances, and separate all instances from affected agents without further incident. Incident Log RPC-126- on 1946. 3 personnel assigned to RPC-126 broke into the containment cell and collected all 3 instances of RPC-126 for themselves. Once contact was made, all affected personnel rapidly advanced through all stages of RPC-126's effects in a matter of minutes. It is now believed that instances of RPC-126 have the ability to produce some form of a sphere of influence cognitohazard. Containment protocols for RPC-126 have been updated in light of these events. Researcher Praxton.